Hello and welcome to another video with me, Christian Rauchenwald. Now in today's video I'm again going to take a look at Pi Network. For those of you that are familiar with my channel or are part of our Discord community, you probably already know about Pi Network, and if you're now expecting a full review of the project, I have to disappoint you because this video is solely going to focus on the updates that happened since my latest video. To be more precise, I'm going to focus on the, in my opinion, important updates and progress that the core team made behind Pi Network. If you, however, have no idea what Pi Network is, I recommend that you click on the card up here and watch the video in that playlist in order, so you basically learn about the project, most things that happened, who's behind it, and so on, and then you in the end up with this video again. Now for quite some time now, some community members in the comment section of other videos kept asking about an update regarding Pi Network and if I lost interest in the project or if I don't believe in it anymore. Well, I can assure you I still believe in the project the same way I did initially when I made my first videos. The simple reason why I did not publish any videos about Pi Network during the last couple of months is that Pi Network, while they made a lot of progress, like they introduced their blockchain, launched their testnet and so on, but they didn't make any progress in quotes that's relevant for people that are caring about when can they use their Pi coins. And B, I wanted to use the limited time that I have every week available for recording to review other promising projects as well, like for example Planet Watch, Helium Network, High Dollars, and so on. If you haven't heard of any of that, I really recommend that you click on the link that takes you to my channel page and there go to playlists and then check out those projects as well, because as mentioned, they are in my opinion really promising, and you might end up making a decent amount of money with little to no effort, and in some cases with no investment at all either. But anyway, today's video, as I said, is about the updates that happened in Pi Network. Now, I will not focus or share every single update that happened within Pi Network, but I'm going to try to keep this video short and focus on the things that are relevant for each and every pioneer to be able to use their Pi coins once the mainnet launches. And just to get it out of the way, because I know I will see those questions in the comment section later below the video, we currently do not know which value Pi will have once it can be traded in any way. Officially, Pi has currently a value of 0 because you cannot use it. Unofficially, there are communities where you can already use Pi coins. One of them would be TPL that I covered in the video, which I'm going to put in the card up here, that uses Pi at a fixed value of $100 per Pi. But that doesn't mean that you can sell all your Pi for $100 per Pi or that you can guaranteed buy something with your Pi. It just means within that community, trades with certain limitations are possible. The second question that I already anticipated, which is also a huge part of the reason why I decided to make a Pi Network update video right now, is people asking what they should do if they have their name in their profile wrong, because that's one of the important things that we have right now. Pi Network introduced an appeal process. To clarify that further, when you sign up for Pi Network, which you can by the way do by using the link in the description down below, and if nobody else told you before about Pi Network, also the referral code in the description or the pinned comment down below, you will have 14 days to make sure that the name in your profile matches the name in your official ID that you will use for the KYC verification. If you're wondering what KYC is, why it's needed and so on, I recommend that you check my Who is Behind Pi Network video. I'm not going to dive into that again in this video, again to keep things short. The important part for here is that for those of you that missed that 2-week window to make sure their name is correct, you now have a method to appeal and get your name updated. You might even have already noticed it because when you currently look at the Pi Network app, which I have here, and I'm going to share it somewhere here on the screen, you can see that it says Name Update Appeal, and you can press on Read More, and it will take you to a page that announces the name appeal feature and explains exactly what you have to do. I'm however not going to walk you through all those steps in this video because as you can see they are clearly numbered and explained in the app, so you just have to do what it says in the app, step number 1, step number 2 and so on, to get your name right. There are two things I want to point out here. If your name doesn't match the name in the ID that you're going to use for your KYC verification, you might fail your KYC verification very likely, which means you will not be able to use any of the Pi coins that you currently have. So you definitely want to make sure that you do that. And besides that, even more importantly, because the appeal process is a manual process where the Pi Network team reviews each appeal and then decides if it's okay or if it gets declined, you can expect that the appeal process takes probably a couple of weeks. So if you fill in your appeal and you submit it, don't send emails to the Pi team after a week or after 5 days or even after 2 weeks asking what happened, because I'm sure they are drowning in appeal requests, considering how many people I know based on YouTube comments and so on that got their name wrong and missed the 14-day window that users have during sign up. So if your name in your profile currently is not the name as it's shown on your ID, then use the appeal form, fill it out, submit it, and be patient until it gets approved. And this also brings us to the second important news in quotes that I wanted to share here. You might have noticed it already in the app because it was announced a couple of weeks back in the app on the home screen, and that is that Pi is currently testing a new KYC process. Now, if you watched any of my previous videos about Pi Network's KYC verification, you know that so far they have used a third-party service called Yoti, which by itself is a great solution because it's a third-party provider that has a lot of certifications where you don't have to worry about data security. However, the problem is that with Yoti, each verification costs around £1. Now, Pi Network might have had some volume discounts or so, but it's still gonna be a lot of money considering that there are more than 25 million Pi Network users. And it's next to impossible to fund that kind of cost or expenses simply based on ad revenue through the app alone. Therefore, the whole KYC verification has been one of the biggest issues because people kept asking when they can get verified and so on, and Pi Network was only in quotes able to provide a couple 100,000 verification slots so far for a sad more than 25 million users, which as a result would have meant that if the mainnet would have already launched, only a fraction of the users would have actually been able to use their Pi coins because the majority of users would have not been able to complete the KYC verification simply because Pi Network doesn't have 25 million pounds to spare to pay for all those KYC verification. And the good news here is that Pi Network finally announced that they have a second method for KYC verification ready and that they're currently testing with 100 users out of each country. And depending on how that beta test with the 100 users from each country goes, we might see a mass KYC adoption sooner rather than later. Personally, I expect that we still will see the KYC option or adoption before the end of 2021, and that then all 25 million pioneers will be able to submit and hopefully pass their KYC verification, which will be a crucial step towards using the Pi coins that they earned by pressing the mine button once per day in the Pi Network app. Now, another important change that happened during the last couple of months that I think I haven't covered in any of my previous Pi Network videos is that Pi introduced a secondary app called the Pi Browser. And the Pi Browser is basically an interface for you to interact with different Pi Network apps. So it's meant to be an easy way for developers, for example, to create apps that interact with Pi, which could be, for example, a marketplace where you could pay with Pi, or an exchange where you could exchange Pi, or any other kind of app where you can use Pi or your Pi account to then do something within the app. And besides that, you also have access to the in quotes native Pi Network apps, like for example the Pi Chat, or if we go back again, also the mine.pi page, which is the same page that you have in the main Pi Network app that basically allows you to manage your mining session. And in the future, once the beta test is over, as mentioned, the KYC option at the bottom, which is called kyc.pi. And as you can see, it tells me that currently the beta test is already full for users from my country, which in my case doesn't really matter because I was lucky enough to get one of the couple 100,000 KYC verification slots with Yoti and already have my account verified. And the last thing to mention in the Pi browser is obviously the Pi wallet. And if you go there currently, it would be your test wallet, and it mentions it clearly as well. If you generate a wallet, you will have to write down or save somewhere your private key so that you can then later restore access to the wallet if you should somehow lose it. But as mentioned on the page and by me previously, that wallet would be right now with test Pi, so it's not your real Pi balance and you cannot really do anything with it. I know some people might wonder, why do we have that wallet then at all? Well, it's obvious. It helps Pi Network test the integrity of the blockchain and also the performance of the blockchain and make sure that the nodes are working properly. Because only if on the testnet people are using the test wallet and sending test transactions, the Pi core team will see if everything works as expected. And once everything works as expected, and probably also after a certain percentage of users completed the KYC verification, the mainnet can launch. Now, the last thing I want to mention in this video is how you can actually receive updates or learn what's going on with Pi Network. And there is also a good news here. Pi Network, or the core team, actually started an own blog. If we go to the Pi Network website, which you can find at minepi.com, and you scroll a little down, you can see the blog button, which takes you to the blog. And there you can see Tech and Product Update October 2021. So the core team decided that they will now release monthly updates about what happened during the last month. It will not mention every single detail that happened, but it mentions the bigger things on the road to launching the mainnet. Like in this case, for example, the mass KYC adoption, updates to the block explorer, to the Pi browser, to the overall Pi platform, to the wallet, and so on. So this is going to be a great place for you to once per month check what happened with Pi and how far along are we towards the mainnet. Now, I want to remind everyone here that the Pi core team at some point a couple months ago announced that we should expect or could expect the mainnet by the end of the year. I still believe that's possible. It really depends, in my opinion, on the results of their KYC beta test. The testnet itself has already been running for some time and appears, from my perspective, at least stable enough. And if they can roll out the KYC mass adoption, well, then there's, in my opinion, nothing in the way of launching the mainnet before the end of the year. However, since there are only 5 weeks left during this year, and maybe the Pi core team also will take some Christmas vacation or something like that, it's also possible that the launch of the mainnet will then only happen in the first quarter of 2022. I know some people will then go on a rant and say the project is already in development for 3 years and it's never going to be worth anything. Well, those people are going to miss out once Pi launches their mainnet, because at the end of the day, you don't really lose anything with Pi Network. All you have to do is, in the Pi Network app, once per day, push the mine button, start your mining session, and receive your Pi coins, and eventually, as said, pass the KYC verification. If the project should somehow miraculously still fail, although they are very close to the finish line, then you didn't lose anything besides 5 seconds of your time. And if they successfully manage to also complete the last missing steps, as mentioned, the KYC mass adoption and then actually launching the mainnet, then whichever amount in Pi coins that you have in your Pi wallet will have some use case and potentially some value that you got for just pushing a button once per day. And as said, that's pretty much it. Now, before I let you all go, here's a quick reminder. If you want to make sure that you receive updates pretty much instantly and not just whenever I have the time to record a new video, you should definitely join our Discord community, because there we also have a dedicated Pi Network channel and channels for all the other projects that I'm, in quotes, involved in. And therefore you'll get your updates there faster. You can find a link to our Discord community also in the description, the pinned comment down below. And another reason for joining our Discord community would obviously be our daily giveaway that we're hosting there, where you can win a couple dollars worth of Bitcoin every day just for being an active community member. And that's it. If you have any questions whatsoever about Pi Network, you can obviously always leave them in the comment section down below, or even better, in the Pi Network channel in our Discord community. With that, I'm going to say, as always, thanks for watching. See you in one of my other videos. Till then, bye-bye.